Well, good morning, everybody. The governor asked for 30 to 40 people, and as he can see right here, that Bearcats come out to support excellence, and that's why we're here today. My introductory remarks were going to be a bit about Northwest and our excellence, but you know what? The governor will talk about that. Let me just quickly say that the governor is the first governor to be re-elected since 1997, and I'll tell you what, ladies and gentlemen, you can talk about understanding and supporting higher education. The governor has done it for Northwest to get to know us. He's been on campus several times as he's been governor. He's talked to our students, our student athletes. He's hosted our faculty, staff, and students down in Jefferson City. He cut the ribbon at our Center for Innovation Entrepreneurship, which is just an awesome endeavor for the region. And so he knows Northwest. We're here to celebrate investment in education, investment in higher education. It's not a cost. It really isn't an investment. And in the governor's State of the State address the other night, he talked about his longtime public service and how when he started, Republicans and Democrats did not agree on everything, but I quote, "They worked together to get things done for the good of the people." He talked of the inscription on the great seal of Missouri, "Let the good of the people be the supreme law." And he talked of this inscription as our call to action, our common oath, and our rallying cry. Governor Nixon, we focus on student success. Every student, every day, that is our mission. That's our rallying cry. And we just really appreciate what you do, because this is not political fare. This is really not about a political matter. It's about our duty and our service. It's about our students. We have a class here, but also many other student representatives, faculty, staff, community members. Thank you for being here. Maryville City Council, Nottoway County Commissioners, and so on. But we focus on students, and that's the good that we really want to celebrate and show that we're all about excellence. So thank you to you, Mike Nitzel, and the team for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, the Honorable Governor Jay Nixon.
Thank you, President Jasinski, and thanks to the team here at Northwest Missouri State. I should also note, last night when I got back, I was relatively late, but I had time to work out, and I worked out in a Bearcat pullover. I know I'm wearing green today, but I worked out last night just to make sure I knew where I was traveling this morning. So I had that pullover I wore at the last football game this year. Thank you very much to make sure. So I sweated in your gear last night, although I am not properly attired for being on Bearcat land here. It is always a pleasure as governor to visit outstanding schools where good things are happening. You know, so much of what you do in this job is to deal with controversies, deal with challenges and whatnot. And when you can go someplace where when you see parents that are talking about their kids going to school here, when you see bright-eyed students, or when you see graduates throughout the state, they're proud of the education that they got here. It gives them the tools they need to succeed, and it is extremely important. So we're here today, I'll talk a couple of things, but we're here today to applaud Northwest Missouri State for an impressive record of success and to discuss the new resources that I have proposed to help you reach even higher goals. Now, over the last 4 years, our state had some tough challenges. We know that. Historic recession, natural disasters, but we tackle them all head on and work together to move our state forward. We balanced our budget every year, we protected our spotless AAA credit rating, and unlike many other states, we did it without reaching into taxpayers' wallets or gutting investments in important priorities. We worked together to freeze tuition for 2 years in a row, making Missouri #1 in the nation for holding down the cost of college tuition. We made targeted investments through programs like Caring for Missourians, which helps prepare students right here at Northwest Missouri State for jobs in growing healthcare fields. We expanded our A+ schools program, giving thousands of additional students an opportunity to attend those 2-year colleges tuition-free. And we help local communities respond and recover after natural disasters such as floods, droughts, and the various other things. On that vein, we will release today, Department of Economic Development will announce today, I guess I'm announcing it right now, but that we have just approved a grant for about $360,000 for 3 Nottoway County communities where wells have reached critically low levels. We saw last year that if we could hook up so wells in Graham, Barnard, and Sheridan reaching critically low levels, and with the drought, they need to be hooked up to the water district. So we're providing $360,000 for our community development block grant to get that hooked up, so that we'd like for it to rain, but if it doesn't rain, we still like to drink water, and consequently we think that targeted investment will make a big difference. So that's kind of an aside. Now, as far as where the economy is, I mean, the efforts we're seeing are paying off, and our economy is moving forward. Last year in the Show Me State, we added 40,000 new jobs, 40,000. The unemployment rate here in Nottoway County, 4.4%. Okay, I mean, when you go home and look at the evening news, look at a state that's at 6.7 or 6.8, a nation above 7, Nottoway County, 4.4. We're exporting more goods than ever before, training more workers than ever before, and bringing Missouri's auto industry back to life. Bottom line is fiscal discipline works. So we'll continue to make sure we keep that bedrock value. We're going to make sure your taxpayer dollars are used efficiently and effectively. Quite frankly, it's simply the right thing to do. And how we invest in higher education should be no exception. That's why in 2011, we convened a summit with the leaders of all of our public 2- and 4-year institutions. The challenge? To develop a new funding model that would yield better opportunities for students and a better return for taxpayers. And that's what we did. My budget for the upcoming fiscal year includes an increase for higher education of $34 million on that performance-based funding for Missouri's public 2- and 4-year institutions. Instead of basing funding merely on what schools have received in the past, this new funding is tied to specific performance goals, like increased student retention, higher graduation rates, improved learning, and efficiency. And friends, Northwest Missouri State rose to the challenge. The school met all 5 of those performance targets. Congratulations. So I'm confident your president will tell you offline, Truman only met 4 of the 5, so John is extremely fired up. Anyway, specifically, I don't think they're going to play in football either. No. Okay. Specifically, the funding model takes into account, first, retention. We want more students to stay in school past their freshman year. A significant problem across this country is folks that start school and don't finish. Northwest has taken that task on. The kids that are capable of moving forward, they want to make sure they move all the way through. Second, graduation rates. Making sure more students are graduating with degrees means a brighter future for young folks and a more highly skilled workforce for employers. So you want to have that retention beyond the freshman year, and then you want to make sure folks persist on to graduation. Third, test scores. Well, now, they're not always popular, especially among the students who got to leave here right at 12 to probably go take some, but they're an important measure of how well institutions are helping students meet their full potential. And this organization has always embraced that difficult challenge, which is testing to make sure we are getting the competency out of these classes we need. Fourth, efficiency. We want more dollars invested in the classroom instead of being spent on overhead and administration. Once again, that target was met here at Northwest. And fifth, schools can choose an institution-specific goal consistent with their mission. Here at Northwest Missouri State, the university has set its goal of increasing the number of students who are earning academic scholarships and financial aid, which comes right at one of my big challenges for our state, which is making sure we get less debt upon graduation for students. And this organization took that as their 5th target model to try to assist students. These are high standards, and quite frankly, Northwest met each and every one of them. And that means in my budget proposal, I've allocated the maximum amount of additional funding for Northwest Missouri State University, which means this year that will be an increase, assuming it's moves on through the legislature, of $1.2 million for this organization just in that 1 year of additional of that performance funding. So congratulations on this achievement. I look forward to working with the legislature to invest for continued success, and I look forward to us continuing to be able to say to parents, taxpayers, faculty members, and others that we're going to continue to meet these robust targets as we move forward in the future. We want to continue to make sure this economy is moving forward so we have additional abilities and resources to expend as we best can. So quickly to the teachers, to the professors, I promise you that as you invest your time and talents here in the classroom, my administration will make sure we're doing everything possible to support you. To the students, keep up the great work. As you know, the number one economic development tool we have is education. And competing in a world economy, education is the key to winning that future. There is no investment that will have a greater impact on the future of this nation, the state, or on the quality of life that you, your grandchildren, children have than the one you have made in your education here at Northwest Missouri State. So use that education to continue to learn and expand your horizons. The future is in these students' hands, and we look forward to providing them the tools necessary to compete in the world economy. I've got a couple of minutes for questions. Should I do the questions here, or should I? Yeah, if the press have any quick questions? Anybody? Quick questions?
The press is okay?
What's that?
Did you say the press is okay?
Yeah, press. If press has got a question.
Do you think there's any circumstances where with some of these other schools that might not score as high, if they had the money, they might do better? Is that be a problem?
Well, I mean, first of all, the process we went through was to make sure that all the college presidents, public college presidents, were involved in drafting the formula, the competition markers. So there's been a tremendous amount of buy-in on those, and as we travel around the state, we've seen a great deal of support. I think the key here is to keep the economy moving forward. If the economy continues to move forward, then we have additional resources to invest in this, and that's why it's so important. I mean, across the country, you're still at times in which public higher education is being held flat or cut in many states, and seeing a 4% increase in higher education funding in 1 year here is a really, really good sign for where the economy is moving, and we think portends well. And we think that the best economic development tool continues to be education. And if these additional dollars are used to train more students in cutting edge, then we would anticipate they'll have jobs, continue to pay appropriately, and we'll continue to grow. But I think we are optimistic about the future and working to provide the additional resources where we can. Yes.
Is there any effort to increase rigor in high school so that the incoming freshmen won't that enhance retention and get better high school graduates?
Yeah, I mean, in fact, we're starting earlier than that. Yesterday I was in the town of Canton, Missouri, over by the Mississippi River, where we were highlighting another of the proposals for this year, which is to double the amount of resources we're spending in preschool. I think that education has to start before kids even get to kindergarten. If our kids are ready to learn when they get to kindergarten, and then by third grade, when you get those initial first markers, you're having a higher percentage of kids who can read and do math and whatnot at that age, then the rest of this process becomes much, much more doable. So we want to, so that the three areas, we're doubling the number of grants that we're going to have, dollars we're going to have available for grants in our Missouri preschool program to try to expand that to more schools. At the high schools, what we're asking them with the additional resources we've given to them is to lengthen the school year. I mean, we have the fourth shortest school year in the country, 174 days. And with the additional dollars I'm giving to K through 12, I'm asking that we lengthen that school year. I mentioned that yesterday at a school assembly in Canton to 525 kids. I did not get a huge applause from the kids, but you saw a lot of parents and a lot of folks going, yeah, additional rigor. So the additional rigor of additional time there, we think is extremely important. And then getting our A+ program ubiquitous to schools all across the state so that we can have every student able to compete for those A+ scholarships. And even if whether they use it or not, keeping that B average, going to school, doing the mentoring, those have all proven to be excellent tools in our education system. So yeah, you bet we're asking for more. We're asking to expand preschool. We're asking to lengthen the school year at the K through 12 level. We're putting our dollars into performance funding at the higher education level. All of those are designed to strengthen the education system at the same time we invest additional resources in it. Anybody else? Once again, good schools don't happen whether it's a K through 12 school or a university. Do not happen unless there's community support. They just don't. And I tremendously appreciate this region's outstanding support of this tremendous organization. Very proud that you all in the first year hit all 5 of these markers in the first year. That most schools didn't do that. There's no line that governors don't go anywhere by accident, and we go where good things are happening. Good things are happening in Bearcat country. Congratulations.